Hey guys, in this lesson we are going to talk about nuclear chemistry. So you have already gone over atomic structure and understanding the importance of protons, neutrons, and electrons. You also understood that when you change the number of neutrons, you are creating what is known as an isotope. So an isotope is when it has the same number of protons, so it's the same element, but it has a different number of neutrons. When that isotope has a different number of neutrons, there are times where it can become unstable. Excuse me. So, before we start talking about that, I want you to think about this question. How does a nuclear reactor work? So a nuclear reactor I'm pretty sure you've seen these nuclear power plants before, whether it's on TV or if you've actually seen one in real life. But how does it actually work? Well, that question can definitely be answered when we talk about isotopes and the stability of the isotopes. So, just as a quick word of information, if anybody has ever heard of the nuclear bomb in 1945, it was called the Fat Man. Okay, this has everything to do with the nuclear chemistry and understanding what nuclear chemistry does. In this situation, what happens is isotopes become unstable, and they put a bunch of unstable isotopes in one small unit. And when they begin to react with one another, it creates a major explosion that ended up looking like this. Okay, so just as a quick overview again of isotopes, it is when you have the same number of protons but a different number of neutrons. Okay, this is just a reminder of what isotopes are. So when isotopes become unstable, meaning that the number of neutrons is too little or too much, it can spontaneously emit or release energy from the nucleus to make it more stable. So this process is known as radioactive decay. Okay, so the process of when the atomic nucleus has to lose energy so that it can become stable. And the energy that is lost is known as either an alpha particle, a beta particle, or a gamma particle. So we have three different types of radioactive decay: alpha, beta, and gamma. And the purpose of this is to allow the atom to become more stable. So, nuclear fusion versus nuclear fission is something that I want you guys to really go into on your own. So you can click the link in the PowerPoint that was provided to you on your notebook to go through this Prezi and talk about the difference between fission and fusion. But this is a part of radioactive decay and isotopes becoming stable. So again, there are three main types of radioactive decay. There is alpha, beta, and gamma. So we're going to go through and we're going to talk about each of these in detail, and then we're going to do some practice problems. So the first one is alpha decay. This is saying that when the nucleus of an unstable isotope is present, then it is going to release what is known as an alpha particle. So let's understand what an alpha particle is. An alpha particle is also the same as helium. So what this is saying is it is going to release a helium particle. When it is releasing a helium particle, it is going to release, meaning it is going to get rid of 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Okay, so it's going to get rid of 2 protons and 2 neutrons. So when you start out with an element, you are going to decrease that element by 2 protons and 2 neutrons. All right, and then I'll talk about what happens to the actual element. When you release alpha particles, they can travel only a few inches through air. So this doesn't produce a major nuclear bomb, okay? It's pretty much like throwing a piece of paper across the room. It only travels a few inches. That means that alpha particles are not very strong. You can easily stop it by a sheet of paper or some clothing. So here's a visual representation of what releasing an alpha particle looks like. We start with an atom. Okay, this atom is uranium. Uranium has 92 protons, and this specific uranium atom has 146 neutrons. Okay, that is a lot of neutrons. Normally, a stable isotope has the same number of protons and the same number of neutrons, roughly. Okay, so this one has 146 neutrons. That means that this is extremely unstable. Uranium is one of the most unstable atoms ever. So most of nuclear bombs are equipped with uranium. So when we look at our isotope notation of uranium, U is going to be the element symbol. 92, which is this bottom number, is going to be the number of protons. And then this top number is going to represent your mass number. Your mass number is going to be comprised of your protons plus your neutrons. So you add 92 plus 146, and that gives you 238. So we start out with uranium 238. But again, like I said, this is so unstable that it wants to release alpha particles. So when it releases an alpha particles, remember it is going to release 2 protons and 2 neutrons. So from here, you can visually see that 92 is going to get rid of 2 protons and it's going to decrease down to 90. 146 is going to get rid of 2 neutrons and it is going to decrease down to 144. Then you will have this helium particle that just got kicked out. Okay, so this is a visual representation of what it looks like for alpha decay. Then we have beta decay. So this is the second type of radioactive decay, which is beta. When we have beta decay, it is going to release an electron. Okay, it is going to release an electron. That means that the number of electrons will decrease by 1, but in this case, we are also going to gain a proton and lose an electron. So again, when you have beta decay, it is going to lose or release an electron. But what this really means is that it is going to gain 1 proton and lose 1 neutron. And I'm going to talk about why the symbol looks the way it does. This one can be stopped by aluminum foil or a block of wood. So it's a little bit stronger, but it's still not the strongest type of decay. So let's look at an example of this. Here we have a thorium atom. Okay, so thorium has 90 protons, and this is from the periodic table. It has 90 protons and it has 144 neutrons. But this thorium atom is also very unstable. So it is going to undergo beta decay. What that means is that it is going to release an electron. But again, remember we said that in releasing an electron, it is going to gain 1 proton and lose 1 neutron. So from here to here, these are your protons. It is gaining 1 proton, so it goes from 90 to 91. And then it loses an electron, or a neutron, I'm sorry. So it goes from 144 neutrons to 143 neutrons. And this electron particle is released. Now, the reason that this symbol looks the way it does, the E stands for electrons, okay? The charge on an electron is negative, which is why this bottom number is -1. Okay, again, the charge on an electron is negative, so this bottom number is going to be -1. The top number is 0 because the mass number is stabilized. So if we add these two numbers up, okay, so 90 plus 144 is going to be 234. But we gain a proton and lose a neutron. So it kind of stabilizes each other. So when you add these two numbers up, you will notice that it is the same, 234. Okay, so that is why this number is 0. The last type of decay that we have is gamma radiation. Okay, this is going to release a gamma particle. Now, if you remember anything about the electromagnetic spectrum, gamma rays are the strongest waves, okay? It's one of the strongest waves. So when gamma radiation occurs, it is going to release these major gamma rays. Now, the thing about gamma rays is that they have no mass or no charge. So that means that it does not gain or lose any protons, neutrons, or any electrons. It is only releasing energy. Now, this type of radiation is extremely, extremely strong. These are usually the ones that produce those major nuclear bombs if you put a bunch of those together, okay? It's the most penetrating, and it can be stopped by 1 meter thick of concrete. That is really large, okay? Or several centimeters thick of lead, and we know that lead is really strong. Okay, so the last thing that I want to point out about alpha, beta, and gamma radiation. If you look at our example here, uranium, thorium, and helium, one thing that I want you to note is that when you add these together, so here's a plus sign. If you add the numbers together, it should equal the original element that you started with. So example, you have 90 plus 2 is going to equal 92. You have 234 plus 4 is going to equal 238. So that is one way to go back and check and make sure that you have completed this process correctly. So as a review, alpha releases 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Beta releases 1 neutron but gains 1 proton. And then gamma rays do not release or gain any protons, neutrons, and electrons. So here are a couple examples that you can take a look at that we will go over a little more in detail. I will provide another video with examples on how to complete these problems.